Welcome back, everyone, to another LEGO Star Wars video, and let's get right into this one. So thank you to Bantha Toys over on Instagram. We actually can make this video, and this is going to be a pretty cool video. We have some in-hand images of the new LEGO Star Wars 2024 Battle Pack. He was actually able to get a couple a few days ago. It was actually pretty ironic, right? The same day that the leaked images came out, within a couple hours after, he was able to actually find some in store. So it was actually kind of funny. It's almost like the store owner, might have been like, hey, saw the leaks on Instagram and then just thought it was okay to put them out or something like that. But nonetheless, Bantha Toys was able to get some, and if DHL does not screw us over, there should be me and another YouTuber that we all know and love. I'm not going to name names for one particular reason, but there's a good chance there might be some in-hand, video reviews on YouTube from a couple people, throughout this next couple days. So definitely stay tuned for that. But for now, these images do answer some of our questions, and that's kind of why I want to cover it. And there's also a couple other things I missed in the last video I did on this set that I want to talk about. So again, thank you to Bantha Toys. Really quickly, here's a picture of the physical product, box art, I guess, just if you are interested in what that looks like. Nothing different than the render. From what I can tell, there's no misinformation or false advertising, but nonetheless, there is the box art, of course, European. And moving over here, we actually have a close-up images of the clone troopers. As always, the shock trooper is the same out of the Coruscant Guard gunship. But then moving into the actual plane clones, of course, we get 3 of them. And from what I can tell, I've got them side by side over here. I mean, it does look like they're just the accessory clone, actual prints for the legs and the torsos. I mean, presumably, literally nothing is different. That's what we've thought for a while. Then we also have the helmets, which have the helmet holes, of course. And unlike some of the kind of ugly renders, some of the leaked images, these do have, the same kind of, fine visor print for what it's worth. Once you actually get them in hand. So there's a quick look at those. We have some images of the actual builds now. Here we have the clone side. And yeah, I mean, the speeder bike, again, from what I can tell in this image, I mean, it still looks pretty lackluster. Nothing too crazy about it. I've got to respect them for trying to do a callback to the OG speeder bike, but it is pretty ironic. I mean, nostalgia or not, I do think a lot of us can agree. I mean, that one from 07 does look a little bit better than this one. I think this one just looks a little too chibi, and I really think it could have done, with another maybe 15 pizzas even, and would have been a nice little addition there. But then we have a little turret over here, which at first I kind of didn't click in my head. I don't think I mentioned it in the last video I did on this set that that is supposed to be a modern day representation of the turret from the 07 battle pack. So you can clearly tell they got some inspiration from that set, but nonetheless, there are the builds, and then also we have that little crate down there. We have a closer look at the speeder bike. It kind of gives us a good look of kind of an overhead shot and the entire length. Again, just the front end I think looks fine. I think the front end is fine. Of course, we have stud shooters. I mean, I get it, the kids want to flick them, but for my personal liking, I wish they were just not there. But you can't inherently, I guess, hate that. It is a Lego set, I guess. But then in the back, I really do just feel like it's missing. I mean, that clone on the back, man, that guy's going to have a tough time hanging on back there and not falling off when they're going 50 miles an hour. But then we have some close-up images of the battle droid side. We have the 2 regular battle droids, then also on the STAP. The STAP does have a stand, which is nice. Of course, they're not going to render that into the actual box art, but it does have just the basic little antenna piece with the dish, so that's always nice. You can actually display your stat properly. Then we have 3 super battle droids. I'll get more into those in a second. We have some better images. Then we also have the tri-droid here. In a perfect world, of course, I still wish they might have made this like a $60, $70 individual set, but I got to give them credit for being a battle pack build. I mean, this really is, in modern day battle packs, one of the most useful battle pack builds, I feel, because the size is there. These are very big in universe. They are significantly bigger than minifigures, which we can see here. And the actual kind of design of it, of course, again, if it was in its own individual set, it'd be a little bit more bulky, probably look a little bit better. But for a battle pack build, which a lot of times people don't buy the battle packs for the builds, this is definitely going to be a nice little thing that probably for most people might not just get parted out right away. Unlike with the 501st sets, a lot of people just built like one of those and then just parted out the rest. I feel like, including myself, if I end up building 4 or 5 of these, I probably will keep all 5 of these tri-droids built. So moving on, we have some close-up images of these super battle droids now. Here's a very nice close-up that he did. I guess shout out to Bantha Toys. We can't tell, of course, there's no mold mark on the front, which is nice. I've actually got the an older one right here to kind of just look at, kind of in hand difference. Of course, we have where the red eye sensor would be. We have that little indentation, and there's definitely some differences we can tell in this next image. Here's a side-by-side that he actually did, and for what he could tell, I messaged him. Of course, we've been talking quite a lot the last 24 hours. From what he can tell, even though his old super battle droid is, of course, like an old figure in general, like it's not like a fresh figure, so kind of unfair to like fully judge it, but he did say the new one does feel pretty firm and pretty solid. And of course, we can tell, this front end image, you can tell that bottom leg clip is a little bit bigger. It kind of goes up around the actual torso bar a little bit better, and presumably that's going to prevent cracking. Probably maybe made out of a little bit different of plastic, maybe a little bit of different mixture, maybe. But we have the front end, which again on the front side, not too much different, pretty much what I just said. And moving on to the back side, of course, there are some. The one on the let me just confirm here. The one on the left here, okay, so you guys don't get confused. The one on the left on this backside picture is the old Super Battle Droid, since I've got an old one here, and the one on the right is the new Super Battle Droid. So the backside, that's where I feel like, look, you can tell they are different. Like if you have side by side, it's not going to be like too confusing. Like if you know this picture exists, like you'll be able to tell your old ones versus your new ones. But bottom line of it, until I get it in hand, I can't really give like a full honest judgment of the Super Battle Droids. Of course, I will do some like durability test and kind of see how they fully look in person with my own eyes. And, if a review happens to pop up on the channel here soon, you guys will get my thoughts there. And then definitely, so real quick before I get into my final thoughts here, I've got a couple other points I want to bring up that are just like personal things. But definitely comment down below on this video any questions you have regarding this set. Because if I do happen to get a review up on the channel here, pretty shortly, I would like to answer a couple of those in that video. So if you guys have any questions, leave them down below. But let's get into the last couple topics I want to bring up here for myself. One thing, just completely personal. Other people have talked about it. I do wish that, they would have made this. I think in a perfect world, they would have really made this an exact copy of the 2007 battle packs and, gave us all 11 minifigures, give us a, instead of the tri-droid, they could have gave us a droid carrier, a stab, and then the same clone vehicles, maybe spruced it up by another 30, 40 pieces, gave us those extra couple droids, and maybe call it 35 at that point and truly be a nice representation. And on top of that, would have gave us a 327th clone instead of a Phase 2 shiny. That's just one of those things where, the kind of inner 2007 through 2009 LifeBricks kind of wishes they did that, but nonetheless, having the 3 P2 shinies is nothing to complain about. Nice and armyable, and an extra one per set doesn't hurt. No stickers on the stab. I know people hate stickers, including myself, but in a scenario like this, I'm just so used to having that little separatist print on there that I do wish they had a little sticker on there. I think that, or in a perfect world, even print it. But that is something that I wish they included. I did talk to Bantha. He confirmed a no visor pack. That's a big one. You get no rangefinders, no visors, no floodlights, no nothing, which that sucks. Of course, you can, from Adam, you can kind of make the complaint, why include the helmet holes if they're not even going to give you anything to put in them? That's definitely valid for this set as a complaint. But bottom line of it, for a battle pack like this, where people are going to be buying many of them, they have, P2 shinies in there that you can really kind of put like any color visor on. I really do think, in a perfect world, again, it all comes down to if they would have maybe, spruced this up a little bit, such a great deal for 30. I feel like, again, as much as I want stuff to be cheap, I think for like a $35 price point, they could have done a little bit more, I feel. And I feel like if they would have included, like, picture this, like 4 different accessory packs where you have like yellow visors and antennas, like blue, orange, and red, like where you can like make those P2 shinies. Like if you want to have, one battle pack worth of like red visors and like treat them as like shock troopers, like, or like, if you want to have, blue visors on them and treat them as like a legion within the 501st or like a group within the 501st. You get what I'm trying to say there? But then the last thing I want to talk about is I am actually glad that they've made these super battle droids pretty similar to the old version. The same reason why I'm glad they don't really change the regular battle droid too much is because as much as there are differences, okay, you know, whether it's, you know, the actual structure of it so it doesn't break, there are actual kind of, you know, from what we can tell, design differences, you know, the eye receptor, and just kind of looks more redefined, you know, the entire molds that they used, you know, in 2024. But for what it's worth, you know, since a lot of us, you know, for the last 20 years have had, you know, we probably have a decent amount of older Super Battle Droids. I know I've got a whole bunch, and I know a lot of people do. You know, it's been a while, but if you've been collecting for a lot of time, you probably have a couple dozen of them. It is nice that our older ones won't look too out of place compared to our new ones. Like, you can really kind of put them side by side, and, you know, in a mock or like in an army on base plates, you're not going to be able to really tell the difference. So bottom line of it, there are my thoughts, guys. And again, thank you to Bantha Toys for these pictures. And again, if everything prevails, check out the channel throughout the week, and I should maybe have a possible in-hand personal review of one and take some good video and everything of it. So leave your questions down below for that review if it does come out. And I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. Go check out Bantha Toys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys, and stay safe.